Welcome all as we congregate to the greatest toy line in community, ever growing, ever changing. As we collect and adapt these figures to our own imaginations and embrace the fun, there's much to learn, especially if you're new to Mythics. Hello, thank you everyone for tuning in. Episode 40, return of Cornboy, CB Mays. Thank you so much, so damn much. I'm honored to have you just take a little bit of time and talk and be on the show. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for having me on.
It's an honor. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. We were talking a little bit about our health, like old men do.
Yeah.
Before the show started. I think most people, I was telling you, there was a lot of chat going on after Legions Con, about how fantastic it was. We'll get into that. But like the prevalent thing was like just the sickness that went and people were like, what about Cornboy? What about CB? Is he and a few of us that had messaged you was like, you know, hey CB, are you okay? And you're like, no, I got COVID. And I was like, oh no, and word spread, and people were like, we got to protect Cornboy, and who did this? And, there was an outcry, that people were, really upset that, you got compromised by this damn COVID, man.
Yeah. Well, it's nothing to worry about. I'm fine. I had like one day where it was, or one night where it was really bad and I felt like total crap. And but after that, it was fine. It was kind of like a bad cold. My girlfriend caught it and she got it a little bit worse than I did.
Yeah.
It was kind of my fault. I was being stupid and like I was taking pictures with everybody and pulling my mask down and everything. I should have just kept it up. And
what'd your doctor say? What'd your doctor say?
Well, I went to my cardiologist last Thursday and he was just shaking his head when I told him I caught COVID. And he was shaking his head and he just goes, you're stupid. You're stupid. You can't do that now.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, like I said, man, you're gonna have to be like half handsome. You're gonna have to do the half mask thing, but your health is the most important thing, man. That's
thank you.
But man, Legions Con, holy crap.
Holy crap is right.
There's a lot to unpack. I'm not going to go over all of the, the mini reveals and details and all that. I just I don't really have an agenda. I just wanted to have you on to get your reactions of what an amazing event. Like, I don't think I realized like the work that the studio puts in to this event, but I mean it went perfectly as far as my perception. Everything, like, you guys stuck the landing. It was a 20 out of a 10. Everything was amazing. Like, but man, you guys, the work that goes into this.
Well, thank you. I mean, I can't really say that I was a big part of the work that went into that because I've been working from home almost all the time now the past probably 4 years, going into the studio every once in a while. But all of that work that you saw, that was because of the crew around us. Like, me and Jim and Eric could not be grateful enough. And I've said it many times and I'll keep saying it. But these guys, they work, excuse the language, but they work their asses off.
Yes.
They really do. And we
couldn't I saw it.
More appreciative. Yeah, it was obvious. Yeah. Like, every single person at that convention was doing what they could to work as hard as they could and make everything right. Yeah. And Jeremy, like, he started the convention years ago and it was in one little room, and now look what it's grown into.
Right.
It's amazing. It's absolutely flabbergasted.
That's something I also wanted to talk about tonight, was just, I'm not going to say meteoric, because I mean, you guys have been there since the beginning, and you've grown this brand and all that, but you've guys have obviously seen how much it's grown. Like, is it too much? Are you guys happy with the size of things? Like I asked Jim at IshCon, I'm like, if you had the chance to sell your stuff at Target, you know, what would you? And he said the same thing. He's like, no, because I wouldn't be able to, you know, go to these shows and see you guys and be, you know, here in the trenches with you guys. And I was just like,
you know what? That's the thing. We're never satisfied with just about anything we've ever done. But the one thing that we are satisfied with is the growth of the company and the fact that our fans are the ones who keep us afloat. And we don't need to go to Target, Walmart, any of that stuff. We don't need tons of cash coming in, if that's even possible. And we don't need the headache of doing that kind of stuff either.
Yeah.
It really, we're just completely satisfied with all the fans and stuff who have helped us accomplish what we've accomplished.
That's got to be like an unusual kind of strategy for a business. You know what I mean? But I mean, to me, it seems like it works. Like Jim was saying, you know, we're happy, like what you said, basically, we're happy with where we are. But, you know, he wants to make sure that his people are taken care of. You know, he's like, you know, Big Greg bought a new car, you know, so I got to make sure that, you know, we make enough to be able to, you know, or somebody bought a house or something. So I worry about things like that. And like that, to me, that just seems so new and refreshing for a business. Or
well,
unusual.
You know, like I said before, we are you guys. We're fans as much as you are, and every one of those guys at our studio, we were where we were at one time, where they are now, working for another company and doing that kind of stuff. And if only we had had somebody really supporting us while we were coming up, it would have felt really good. And that's what we love to do is, you know, help guys out that are, you know, fans of the work that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We like to be able to do that when we can.
Well, I love too that you guys like Chris and George, they have their own toy lines, you know, and you guys are like okay with that. Like that, I mean, as far as I know, I mean, but that's just like that you guys are, you know, I didn't even know what to say. Like, I just love that you guys are, you know, accepting and maybe even helping or mentoring, you know, these younger guys.
Absolutely. I mean, right. Just today, there are 3 different projects that I'm in the process of working on that are, you know, small, brand new companies that are just starting out and trying to get a foothold. And I'm working with them to try to, you know, do a nice job on the figures for them and make them better. This stuff, it's only paying us money. It's not making us, you know, anything from their figures. Mm-hmm. They're paying us the money to do them, and then when we do them, they rake in all that themselves. I mean, we're just hopefully helping them gain a foothold in the toy industry, and, you know, maybe moving on to something bigger and better in their
I just
projects.
Love that giving back, or, you know, I just love that, you know, generosity that you guys have, you know, towards fans, but also for people that are, you know, burgeoning businesses. Like that.
Oh, absolutely. And as far as George and Chris goes, we're fine with them making their own action figure lines, things like that, as long as they don't push our stuff aside.
Right. That's right. That's right. Mythics first. No, damn
it. They're real. Like Jeremy, I said a bunch of times, both jokingly and being realistic, he might be one of the the more valuable assets we've got as a company. One of the best ideas that we've made by hiring him.
Yes.
But like George and Chris and Sherry and everybody there. I mean, I could name every single one of them. Every one of them has something to give.
Yes.
And we love them for it.
Yes, they're all amazing people and all talented and
Very.
kind and you know, friendly and open to all of us fans.
Yep.
That means so much. You know, I
Thanks.
met one of your new shipping guys, or I'm not sure exactly what his name's, Dustin. And he was just as cool as Vern and Cookie. And
he was the guy manning the door, and he was the right guy for the job because
he's
like this.
Yeah.
He's tough. He can kick somebody's butt when he wants
Yes.
to, but he's friendly as all get out.
Yeah.
Couldn't be friendlier guy.
Yeah, I love that. I think that it means something that you guys are, I'm going to say selective, but like I was talking to Eric's brother Brad the other day, and he was talking about how important family is. And it's like, I feel like you guys hire people that feel like family to you.
Yep.
And it just kind of works, like that synergy of, you know, everyone getting along and you know, all these amazing different personalities like Chris and George and Jeremy and everything, but it all seems to work because everyone, I think, it respects everyone, but everyone seems like a good mentality.
You wouldn't believe it at the studio. Like it seems like it's fake, that it's put on when you go in there, that all these guys seem to be just friends and family. It's not like a workplace where you're just, I gotta go to work, that kind of thing. As a matter of fact, Diego told me one time a while back that he was working and he would be waking up for work and go, oh God, I gotta go to work again. But now he wakes up and goes, get to go to work. He's all excited. That's awesome. It's awesome to hear that.
Absolutely. I mean, that says something great about your studio, but it also, I've always believed that when people are actually happy, then they're productive. You know, they want to do good and they want to come to work and be there and be present and give their best. And also it creates loyalty. If they're happy, then they want to stay and they want to be part of this amazing thing that you guys have created.
Sure, absolutely. And you know, with like you were saying, Chris and George with their toy lines, they're able to be creative there too. Not just creative there for the studio, but they're able to express their creativity in other ways, and we love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one more question about the business. When you guys first were kind of formulating and starting, did you have the plan to be this open and transparent, or is that just like a personality thing on you guys' part?
Well, I think it's definitely a personality on us, but like way back when we had first started the business, and we had like message boards, these weird message boards that we had. I was on there all the time, and I was completely open and honest as we could be. I mean, we're a company, so we can't be 100% honest.
Right.
Like we are open to an extent, to the level that we need to be. But I was on there just joshing around and having fun with the people on the message boards all the time, and it's always been real personal like that. And the reason is because, you know, we were once where fans are. Like, we're still fans. I still collect toys. There's toys all around me.
That's one of my questions. Your 2024 favorite pickups is one of the questions I'm going to ask you.
Well, it's just got shipped from Big Bad Toy Store, I think.
All right.
So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But I've always been on the message boards, and we've been really open to our fans as much as possible, and we just value that because we were once pure fans and not in the toy industry.
Yeah.
Where, you know, we would have loved to have had that, and we didn't, and now we're able to provide it. So
yeah, well, I think that
hopefully it shows.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. I think it benefits the toys, the figures, that you guys are figure fans. You're fans of figures. So like, Eric designs his best, you know, thing and engineers it, and the marketing and the planning and the surprises that you guys have and all the different, I think that you guys are fans of the toys, just makes the product even better. Like I was telling a friend that he owns a comic shop. His name is Gavin. He was an intern this last one, and I was telling him about another guy that owned a comic shop back when I lived in California. And I would walk up to him and say, "Hey, have you read the new Spider-Man?" He's like, "No." And I said, "Well, what about, have you checked out this new, Dark Knight?" No. And the guy was just miserable at this comic shop. And I'm like, this would be a dream to work here, to own my own comic shop. But
Wow.
he was just so unhappy at this comic shop, and it's like, be happy with what you're doing. If you're not happy with what you're doing, then don't do it. So you guys are obviously happy, in what you're doing. And I think it really shows, but it also radiates. And you and I had talked about that, about, the good natured, or the mentality of openness and honesty and generosity and family radiates out towards the fans as well.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, talking about your chats real quick, that made me think somebody wanted me to ask you about that 3-foot dragon comment that I'm sure people have probably already asked you, but was that like friendly foreshadowing, or was that just hopeful?
No, it was very much hopeful thinking. Like way back when we were first starting Mythic Legions, we always used to sit around and like dream about what could be. And I was, when we decided to turn them into like 6-inch scale figure, I was a little bit bummed out because I was thinking, if they're going from a 3 3/4 inch figure up to a 6-inch ish scale figure, then how are we going to make a big ass dragon?
Right.
So
yeah. It's
we
gonna have to be
decided
huge.
now we've gotten to it. We knew it was going to be big, but it wouldn't have to be, 5 feet long. We've gotten to a point now where we think that the fan base is there in that they'll support such a large dragon. But at the time, I was just, just hopeful that we could do it. It was just, dreams, like a kid dreaming.
I think it's funny though that quote has followed you. I see it all the time.
That's okay. Our next venture is going to be with Cosmic Legions. We're going to do at least a 3-foot tall mech, because I love mechs. I have those. I have
yes,
some big Titanfall mechs up on my shelf, and
yes, I can't wait. Yeah, I love robots and big monsters and stuff like that. So I love that. So let's get into the dragon a little bit. We got to give it its due. I got a little slide here. Just an amazing piece of work by Eric. Holy crap. Like the meticulous detail. He said, like in at intern, he said every scale was just hand, put into his, his tablet, but every one is sculpted. I'm like, oh my God. So he didn't use like I don't know anything about the how it works, but like he didn't use a program to like, okay, full scale on everything. Like
and just plop, 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 different scales.
Oh
no, he's God. Like a kid is. I say kid. He's like he's not quite as old as me, but he's an older man now.
Yeah,
he's still a kid to me, but man, he's so talented. Like one day,
unbelievable.
One day his stuff is going to end up in the Louvre, just because of how talented and prolific he is. It's just he's so fast and he's so slick and smooth. The stuff is just beautiful.
Yeah, seeing him at intern, like I was honored to be picked. I was so damn excited. But like,
and you got to sit in on his sculpting thing.
Yes, and I was I couldn't wait. That was like my favorite part of the thing, was just watching him just make something off the top of his head, and I was just like so blown away just watching him create. What surprised me is that he said that he creates like he works like 8 hours a day, like a real I don't mean a real job, but like a job, like, you know, like I'm, you know, punching, I'm doing this for 8 hours. He's creating for 8 hours. That is like, that blew me away. Like that kind of dedication to just crafting and his artistry.
And how lucky am I that I get to be connected with that?
Right. Well, it's got to be surreal though for you guys. Like, you know, I was always interested in like how you guys decided on fantasy being like, we're gonna do Kickstarter, and was fantasy like the main choice, or were there other?
I mean, there's always like sci-fi we love, but we've always said that we wanted to do a fantasy line from when we first got together and started the business. But what we decided on is it would be somewhat of a realistic fantasy line. In other words, it would be somewhat grounded in realistic historical knights and armor and stuff like that, with somewhat of a fantasy element into it. It's gotten more fantasy as you know, as the times went on. But when we originally started doing that, it was absolutely where we wanted to go as far as a toy line goes. We said Lord of the Rings and all that stuff is no longer being done. Let's go ahead and jump in and do a line of the Mythic Legions action figure, a line of fantasy figures.
Did you ever have like night sweats or like worry like, oh man, I hope this is the right choice for the Kickstarter? Like
always. No, our main one was our main sweat was whether we would go from 3 3/4, which was originally planned, to a 6 inches scale figure. And we kind of sweated over whether that was the right decision. Obviously it was now looking back, but at the time we were like, man, this could be trouble. We thought we were going to be paying a lot more for production. It turns out it wasn't that much more than 3 3/4. And we made the right decision. We were lucky, but so we before we started the Kickstarter, we were worried about, well, will this do well? And almost immediately it started to take off. It wasn't a slow burn on our Kickstarter. And we were like, oh, okay, this is going well. And toward the end, we did really well. And with the second one, we did even better, far better. So it was when we first started, before we launched the Kickstarter, we were sweating a little bit because we had done a couple Kickstarters before, some successful, some not quite so successful, but we were worried about whether this was going to take off the way that it did.
Do you think that the scale, like if it was a smaller scale, do you think that the line would be as successful?
As of now, no.
Really?
I really do think that a lot of it had to do with that larger scale, because I don't think that, like, we never had any idea in doing this line that our fans were going to go in and customize things to the extent that they have. And I don't think that would have happened with a 3 3/4 line.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I think that with we made the decision with that 6 inch. I keep saying 6, but it's more like 6 3/4 to 7 inches. But when we decided to do that 6 inch scale and do the pop and swap type joints, then I mean that was just the key. It was just the perfect combination of the way to customizers' hearts.
Right. No, yeah, absolutely. That created such a huge industry within the community of, more amazing talent that was attracted by you guys's amazing creations.
And that's the thing. I mean, we had no idea that the fans were going to be as into it as they were, as into the customization of it, but it's fueled tons of creativity in the community, and it's
Mind boggling.
fueled, I mean, people are making money off of it, so that's
Right.
fantastic.
Yeah.
We fought kind of like didn't want to do that in the beginning. We were like, oh man, I don't know if this is going to work, but it was fine. It turned out okay.
Yeah, as I was going to say, I think in the long run, it benefited you, because I'm noticing people buy extras of things just to customize. So
Yep.
I guess that's a compliment and a benefit for you guys. But man, it's got to be surreal to look back when you guys were starting out, this toy line, to now being like, we have a freaking dragon. Like, it's got to be like, wow, like, what's next? I mean, what's next. I mean, mechs or bigger creatures or whatever, but it's like, it's got to be like so gratifying for you guys, stop and take a breath, like,
well, I had seen that dragon around the studio in pieces, and I saw it as it was being painted. I saw it in pieces. I would go into the studio, and there would be parts on Sherry's desk that were being painted, but I hadn't seen it all put together until one night I went into the studio, and a couple of the guys in there said, "Oh, you got to come and see this." And they dragged me into the back room, into the photography room, and I was like, holy crap.
Wow.
That wasn't the expletive I used.
Right.
So it was much worse, but I couldn't believe it. It was so massive and so beautiful. I had no clue it was going to be that nice.
So
I stood next to it and took a picture of it, and on the photos, it didn't look as big as it looks in person. You've seen it in person.
Yes.
Like in the pictures, you cannot get
Yes.
You cannot get an idea of the scale, even with a figure next to it.
Right.
Even with multiple figures next to it, you have to see it in person to realize how just ultimately massive that thing is.
It's an experience and a work of art, like you said. You got to send me that picture if you find it, of you taking a picture with the dragon. I would love to see that.
Nope, because I'm making a really ugly face.
Oh, come on.
I'm kidding. I'll send it to you, but you can't share it.
No, I won't. I promise. But, no, it's gotta be surreal. So when they had you see it at the time, it was in its final scale, like the chosen scale size.
Oh yeah, they had it standing up on. It was the one that you saw at Legion's Con, where it was standing up on the rock.
I love that rock. I love that it's on the rock. That is just a perfect dragon pose, where it's just kind of resting regally on this rock. And if you see it in real life, you turn your ass around and you go in another direction, because it could be very dangerous, or it could be very wise. It's just a thing of beauty, but not to be messed with. But yeah, I've told people that unfortunately didn't get to go to Legion's Con. I'm like, whatever pictures or videos of this dragon, it's not, doesn't do justice. Like,
no,
it is so detailed. Like, I was just looking at like its face, is filled, like, has all these horns and spikes, like, all, and it's just everything on it is literally perfect, like sculpted perfectly. It's just unbelievable.
It's beautiful. It is definitely a thing of beauty.
What's funny is, like, us fans, we talk. That's one of our hobbies, is speculating and talking. You guys know that. And I had been on record being like, I don't really care about a dragon. Like, anything Horsemen make is going to be awesome, but I don't really, I just want a good wave. And damn, like, you guys make stuff that makes me want it. Like, I didn't know I needed a Snake Man. I wanted a Snake Man. I didn't know.
Were you there when we wheeled that dragon out?
Yes. Yeah.
And did you stand up?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Everyone, I think everyone stood up or was
You
just
couldn't
in awe,
refuse. It wasn't just because people were in front of you. It's just you had to stand up to get a better
just
look at it. The
in
thing was
awe.
amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. So, did you have any kind of like, was it kind of after the fact? And I don't mean this in a negative way, but like the creative process of the dragon. Were you in on any of that? Did you have any, was there any feedback? Was it all Eric's baby?
That was just about all Eric's baby. I
Yeah.
mean, my input on it was we want a 3 foot tall dragon.
Yes, that's my request. I want that baby big.
Yep.
That's all right. I'm glad, and I'm glad too that the scale, I'm glad that these are 6-inch plus figures, but the scale of the dragon, I know that they hearing interviews that they did go back and forth, like, we want it to be bigger than this, or we want it to be, and I
Yeah.
have a few pictures comparison, but I think it just fits right. Like, I think that the scale is correct. It's not so big that people are not going to be able to afford it, but it's big enough to like just blow away everything in your display.
I was trying to find a troll here. Like that
For
troll is, it's not, I have one in the other room.
Yeah,
That troll is massive. And you look at it next to the dragon, and the dragon dwarfs it. But still, in the photograph, as beautiful as the photo is, it doesn't really relay that message to you that you just have to see it.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
So that person.
That leads me to a question that I want to ask, and I don't know if it's something that you can answer, but I will.
How much is it?
No. I wasn't gonna ask that. My question is, next year, are you guys going to take that beautiful dragon on tour?
I won't say anything, but we do have plans to have the dragon elsewhere.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it would be on tour. It's just too big and unwieldy to really take it on tour, but it will show up elsewhere.
Okay. I'm happy with that, because I just, as a fan, I want people that didn't get to see it to see it.
Yeah.
And hopefully maybe a big convention or something in the future, it might make an appearance, because
we will make sure that it makes appearances.
Good deal. We'll stop at that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's amazing. Do you feel like, and you did mention mechs, but like in the mythic world, do you feel like there could be more room for bigger creatures, or as big, or just,
bigger
like
than the dragon?
Maybe not as big, but I mean, can you see like other creatures?
Yeah. Actually, we've talked extensively about giants. I'm not going to say we're getting a 3 foot giant or anything like that, but we've talked about that type of thing. How would we do it? How would we make creatures that are bigger, not as big as the dragon, but bigger than a troll? Something like that. So,
well, I love that the dragon would be a pinnacle of the Horsemen studio creation. I mean,
it may not be. If it sells really well, who knows?
You never know.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the moment, that's the limit.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite part of the dragon? Is there something about
the wings? I just love the wings. Even the wings are cool, and they've got a lot of nice detail. But Eric thought to put little holes from previous battles in the wings and everything, and it's like, that just looks so beautiful.
Yeah. Which that kind of surprises me, because like I think of like the figures, and I'm kind of looking at a quarter of my collection right now, and I don't see a lot of battle damage on the figures. So it kind of surprises me that with this dragon, but I think it's cool because this dragon is a named character. And he's been through some shit. He's been through some, and I love that. That there's a story, and it's part of the lore.
Well, you have to think those dragons or that dragon is possibly, centuries old. So it's probably been through some stuff. So
absolutely. Yeah, the holes. Yeah,
battle damage is going to happen.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, I love that. And I love that it was, when it comes to the paint and stuff like that, it was kind of a collaborative process, with Sherry, and I think Cameron worked on it too. I'm not sure, but they did some amazing.
The paints on it are beautiful.
Man,
we had the guys had talked about that they kind of went back and forth whether they were going to put like more metallic flake into the scales and things like that, but the way they went with it is perfect. And a lot of people are asking, well, why did you do a green dragon? Why not a red dragon or a bronze dragon or something like that? And it's like, to me, a green dragon is just classic and basic. You're probably, you're possibly going to see other types of dragons. Let's see if the dragon sells well,
right?
Then you will eventually see other colors of dragons.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. If it sells well enough,
yes,
you will see other colors of dragons. But green to me is just like the standard dragon.
It's Ferrari red. I mean, it's classic. It's classic.
Yep.
I would have so much trouble being part of the studio of toy making, because I would give crap away. I'm not careful with my words, so I would be like, guys, don't let me do any interviews, because I would give crap away all the time.
Sometimes I'm not either, but
you get excited, like, if there's so much good stuff that it's like I can't imagine you guys trying to contain all the amazingness.
Well, Jeremy just sent to us the schedule of stuff that's being released in this coming year and stuff for pre-orders in this coming year. First of all, the schedule is completely packed. It's insane how much stuff we're doing. Second of all, some of that stuff is just incredible. Like, I cannot wait until people get their eyes on it.
I can't wait either. Yeah, we
it's no dragon, but
that's right. I mean, we as fans are just, we talk about, this is like stuff that we talk about, like, and I speaking for myself, like, I love the planned stuff, but I also love surprises. Like, it's like when someone you love gives you a gift. That's what it feels like. It's almost like personal. Like, how did you guys know I needed a skeleton? How did you guys know that I needed this or that? It's just like, it's just so much fun. It just, I love it. It just seems so unique.
How did you know I needed a Frankenstein?
Exactly. I've got one right here. Yeah.
Nice.
But, no, I just love that. And yeah, we as fans are just chomping at the bit for 25. Legion's Con, back to Legion's Con, like, right. Wow. Like, I was waiting all year for it. Luckily, I got to go to intern. I got to see, the amazing people doing amazing things.
That was fun, right?
You took me on a quick little tour of the warehouse, and I got turned around because they're like, hey, surprises over there. Get out of there.
Right.
Oh, so I didn't see anything.
They had some of the stuff stashed in the back, and I didn't realize it. And I took you over there, and it's like, you can't come back here.
Yeah,
I was like, get me killed, I can't come back here?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, he can't come back. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to get killed, man. I love surprises, man. I don't want to. But
you're safe, Schmurger Burger.
Yeah. They're like, what happened to Greg? What happened to Schmurger? I don't know. I haven't seen him. He's in those boxes over there.
He's gone.
He got boxed up. But no, just the intern. Like, I just for a minute, I just want to say how amazing intern is. And for people that are new to Mythics that don't really understand what intern is, it's basically the studio invites or has a drawing for people randomly, and they come in, and it's also, you know, people that are in the community, special friends of the studio and stuff like that. But it's just a tour for the day of the greatest studio. It's just so much fun. Like I was just walking in, was like, I just kept thinking like Willy Wonka, like, you know, just walking in and seeing like the couch that Chris and George sit on, and the warehouse, and like just seeing like this is where it happens, and like the wall of all the Mythics, and there's a sign that says welcome interns, and it just, you guys, like Jim takes us on a tour, and it just made us feel so welcome.
Did you get to sign the
oh yeah I wrote
welcome
Burger
interns?
Yeah,
yeah, that's I mean, we keep calling it intern, but it's called Intern for a Day. And what that is like you explained, we bring people into the studio, fans who are fans of Four Horsemen or fans of Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, or Figura Obscura, and they have the opportunity to walk around the studio and check everything out, and to go to different stations and see the process of making these things and how we do it. And, you know, we have our experts explain exactly how these things are done. And it's incredible. Like when I was younger, I saw on the bottoms of toys, made in Japan, made in China, made in Taiwan, made in
Hong Kong,
wherever. And I didn't realize that the cool kind of stuff is often done here in the United States. And what an opportunity that would have been when I was younger, to have been able to go to like an Intern for a Day kind of thing. I would have started in toys a lot sooner than I did. I ended up going to the Kubert School for comics because I thought that's, you know, that's all you could do. And when I discovered in there accidentally, I always just fall face first into sweet crap.
That's a quote right there.
When I discovered accidentally that a lot of the stuff that I would love is made here in the United States, or at least designed here in the United States, and then it's sent over to other countries to have them mass produced. I was floored. I wish I would have known that a lot sooner.
Yeah. I think that you guys' transparency also has educated a lot of us in how it works. You know, like I've had Diego on a few times about the process of shipping and stuff like that, and I've talked to Chris. He's supposed to be on the show this coming Tuesday, but I would love for him to give information on the production, like how it works. So that people that, you know, maybe new fans or people that are interested will be able to learn the process. And it's awesome that you guys have that openness, you know, without giving any secrets away, but you guys show the process and talk to us about how things are made, instead of it being closed doors and secret. Like you guys are as open as you can be about the process. And I think that that's so original and refreshing.
If it were only that way when I was 13, I would have taken not a different path, but a path a lot earlier.
Yeah, you would have done. You would have been doing what you enjoyed earlier
when I was 18 or 19, rather than in my 30s.
Can you imagine?
Wow. When I started.
So after Intern, which was amazing, Friday is the reveal for a new wave that comes. It's the big wave reveal of every year. So you guys have Intern on Thursday, then you have G-Con on Friday, and then that kicks off Legions Con, which, wow, like I've been to 2 now, and last year was amazing, and this year just blew my mind. Like it was like even bigger. So you guys noticed like the size progression of these cons? Like,
have you ever do you know what the reason behind the name G-Con is?
I don't.
A lot of people don't.
Is it George, or is it something
because
else?
of George? Yeah.
Okay.
Because we when we were first doing our like little convention, we wanted to have George come out and host. We've been friends with him since way back at McFarlane Toys. He worked there with us, and we wanted to have him come out here to New Jersey. He was living in California at the time, so he flew out here, and we did the show and just called it G-Con because it's George Con for no other reason than it was funny.
Yeah.
And it just kind of stuck. We just went ahead and stuck with it, and it's like, G-Con, what's that mean? Well, it's just an homage to George.
Yeah. I wonder how he felt about that.
But
he doesn't seem like, he doesn't do things for attention. He doesn't seem like that type of.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Nope.
But and then so Legion's Con starts officially Saturday. But I mean, people are already partying and happy, just reveling. Like one of my friends was already passed out outside in the fire pit area, like Friday night or Thursday. I don't remember what night it was, but like,
I hope he's okay.
Oh yeah. He was fine. But it just like I was talking to Terrence's girlfriend Gina about her first experience, and she was talking about the 1,000 Swigs and how you guys had come in and seen the event that they had, like everyone creating and coming together and bringing their mythic Swig figure and customizing it. But she was like, it meant so much that you guys took the time to come and check them out. Like that was cool.
I actually didn't get to go in and see the final tally of all the Swigs that were there because I was in with Cameron.
I saw that.
The gaming thing.
Yeah.
And he was doing testing for the RPG game. And I was in there kind of keeping an eye on that and checking it out. And I completely spaced running over there to check out the final tally on the Swigs. But I saw a good amount of them when I was there, but every single one wasn't there yet.
It was incredible that the table of all the mythic figures in one place that you guys aren't selling. Like people brought their own Swigs and customized them. Like these,
it really was amazing.
That was a super cool thing. So hats off to Terrence and all the people that were involved and Gina and stuff. But I had walked
1,000 Swigs. That was
great. That was sweet. But so I walked by and I saw you in the other room watching
RPG room.
Yeah, you were there for like quite a while. Like I went a couple times because my room was up there, so I would walk by and I'm like, oh, CB's in there, and then I walk by, oh, CB's still in there. Like
you should have come in and checked it out.
I should have. I was like one of those social butterflies that was like bouncing from one, here. Oh, there's my friends over there. And, oh, there's my friends over there. And there was not enough time for everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, I had a couple friends that came to the convention specifically just to play that game. They're big Dungeons and Dragons players, and they wanted to go play the game. So I figured I'd take them up there and eventually show them the rest of the convention, but take them up there to where the game is and then hang out and watch the game play. Because I had played it like a couple of weeks before. Cameron hosted an event at the studio, and I played when we were there. And I wanted to see how everything was going with, players. These were considered our inexperienced players, and there were some truly experienced players that played later on. But I wanted to see how it was going with the inexperienced players, and it went real smoothly. But of course, Cameron is an amazing dungeon master, so
that helps for sure.
Yeah, that really helps a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love that you guys have kind of branched. So like that's also something that's exciting about 25 is that you guys have these things that you revealed for the coming years, that just opens more doors and broadens your horizons as a business. And that's just stuff that you guys have talked about. Like I'm sure knowing you guys a little bit, I'm sure there's a ton that you know, that smile. I could see that there's more there.
I
But
wouldn't say a ton, but we definitely have other things planned.
but just that you guys like the comic, the role-playing game, you know, there's the video game, there's, you know, the Infinite Legions, there's the, you know, there's so many things that you guys are not, or that are new. And to me, you know, I'm not an expert at all, but it just seems like you guys are really pushing to do more, and I'm here for that. I love that.
Thanks, man. I mean, actually, speaking of the video game, we just heard today, and you're hearing it here first before you're hearing it anywhere else.
Goop.
The final alpha should be done in a couple of weeks. Then we're going to the publisher in early to mid January, and then they're gonna work on doing the distribution there. So
Wow.
it's almost done.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It's been a
Yep.
long time, but we're this close.
That's all right. That's all right. This new year is going to be an amazing year.
It really is.
I'm
really
so excited
for it.
So like, how far in advance, like, you guys plan? Like, I mean, I think Jeremy is really good. Like, I don't know, but I just feel like him including into the engine that's the studio, like, I think that spark plug of Jeremy has really like taken you guys to like whole new, you know, like the business and like the sales and the marketing. It just seems like it's so strategic and smart.
It absolutely is. Like Jeremy, his job at our studio is, you know, marketing and sales, but he's much more talented than that. So he adds a lot to the company, not just the marketing and not just the sales. He adds a lot, and you know, he comes up with a lot of ideas. The what's it called? The graveyard skeletons. Jeremy came up with that, and we were like, "That's a great idea." And we kind of brainstormed it for a little while and decided to release it. And it sold really well. It was a great idea.
So much fun.
But he's come up with a lot of stuff like that, and he's, like I said, he's planned the next year for us. You know, working with Eric and talking about what Eric's capable of doing
right
in the year and all this kind of stuff. So they've laid that out. You know, the stuff that we do, we lay out a year or a year and a half, possibly even 2 in advance, just getting things ready.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in awe of his, you know, like, I think that he is so smart and savvy, and uses the cabal as a way to communicate, I think, and you know, kind of, he's got his finger on the pulse, not to use a cliche.
No, he does.
Of the community does. And I think that really, I think it helps you guys too, because it's like, you know, there's a good synergy, there's good communication, and you know, like, between the fans and you guys, and I feel like you guys definitely listen to, you know, what our thoughts and feelings are, or wants, or whatever. You know, like the dragon, people have been talking about that forever, it seems. And you know,
I definitely have.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So
but Jeremy, he's connected in a way, like he's connected with the fans, and then he's connected with us, but he doesn't let the being connected to us give him a big head. He's still just as much a fan as the rest of the fans are. And he's fantastic. He's the perfect combination of being a company person and being a fan.
Yeah.
We couldn't have asked for anything better than that.
Well, I love too that he has accepted that public persona, you know what I mean? Like, of being Jeremy, but like, you know, like, you're you, and there's Jim and then Eric, but like Jeremy is part of that. Like he has, been okay with, people coming up to him, and I've asked him for a picture and a signature or whatever. Like he's great with that. Like when I met you, you were the first studio person, the first Horseman that I met. So like naturally you're my favorite.
Was it
But
like ToyCon New Jersey or something?
no, it was PowerCon and
PowerCon, yeah.
MuskyCon. It was MuskyCon, and I wore this
Oh,
shirt, and you're like, "That's my favorite character," and I'm like, "I didn't know that." So that endeared me to the studio and to you, of course. Like you're my favorite, but like,
and for those that don't know, he brought me that T-shirt in my size.
yes.
When was it? It was at
That was at PowerCon.
PowerCon.
Yeah.
He brought me that T-shirt.
Yeah, I was a fan because I'm like, this guy could have been the biggest jerk, and like, yeah, I don't have time for you, kid, but like, made time for me and talked and signed a figure, and like was so like, I've never had that where, hey, these figures are amazing, but like the people that created this stuff, that own this company, are super cool and friendly. Like I've never, I love Mezco just like you do, but I don't know anything about them, or Hasbro or Mattel. Like I don't really know. Like I've seen Todd McFarlane, but I've never like taken a picture with him, or like he doesn't know my name. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like I don't have that. So you guys, it just makes me feel, and makes us as fans feel like special, like we matter, and that's something that you conveyed, saying like, we're like you guys. Like I love that.
You ready for the quote?
Ready for the quote, baby.
We just try not to suck.
Try not to suck. That's all. That's all. One last question.
We continue to do that, I'm more than happy.
One last question, and then I'll let you go. It's been a fun hour, and I appreciate you so much.
I'm gonna go out and hunt drones outside.
Yes, yeah, I'm gonna look that up.
I'm in New Jersey. If you guys haven't looked, look on the internet and search for New Jersey drones. There's drones out here, and the government, nobody knows where they're coming from. And they're drones that are like the size of cars.
Oh,
they're huge.
I didn't know there were drones that big.
They're not like little drones that you can, that people buy them off of Amazon. These are legitimate drones, and the government's saying, we don't know what those are. The FBI is looking into it. They just don't know. And it's been going on for a couple of weeks.
I didn't know they made drones that big. They've got to be expensive, man.
Yeah, they have to. They're not hobbyist drones. They're definitely some type of military or something. Aliens.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
My last question is just how, and I think I know the answer, but how do you guys as a studio feel about your fans? Like, is it too much? Is it like annoying? Is it like, how do you guys like, how do you perceive us as fans? Like, how do you perceive us?
I don't know why you would think that you guys are annoying or too much. There's like nothing in the world like a Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, Figure Obscura fan. Yeah. Like I have never seen, I've been toy collecting for literal decades, and I have never seen anything like you guys. It's amazing. No, we absolutely not too much. Absolutely not annoying in the least. Like you said that you came up to talk to me. Anytime you want to come up and talk to any of us, when we're at a convention or wherever, if we're just out at Walmart or whatever, if you see us, you can come up and talk to us. We don't have an issue with that. We love it.
Yeah,
we love it.
I think that is, I don't know if that's a normal thing, but it endears the fans to you guys, that you're that open and generous with your time, and that you're that cool. It means a lot to us. So, I appreciate it, and I think the fans definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. George, he may not want to talk to you so much. He hates fun, but
read the room, yeah. Check his, if he's got that face, then keep walking.
No, George will talk to you too.
He's a
He's a
good
great
dude.
guy. He's
Yeah.
sometimes grumpy.
Yeah, that's George is George.
Yes, he
George is
is.
George.
Yep.
But thank you, CB, so damn much. And
Thank
I
you
hope
very much,
that
sir.
maybe eventually you'll come back and do this again. Maybe
Sure.
you'll have something new to talk about, new whatever, or just I wanted to talk to you about some of your pickups too, and I didn't get a chance. So
My pickups. What do you mean? I've got a girlfriend. I don't.
your
Oh,
toy
you know
pickups.
what? One thing, the one that I'm excited about is Big Bad Toy Stores shipping out their mech Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Raphael. I just got notification
I
that
don't
it's
think I've
getting.
seen that. I don't think I've seen that.
You haven't seen any of those?
No.
Hang on just a second. Let me grab this.
All right.
This is the Michelangelo one, and I have the Donatello one, and
Oh,
the
that's awesome.
Raphael one is getting shipped tomorrow, I suppose.
I think he needs
But
more guns.
Yeah, but it seems like a double gun and
Yeah.
double rockets, and double guns on top. So I
Yes.
guess it's kind of like his nunchucks or something.
Yeah.
But
I love it. I love the
yeah,
chains on there. Those chains are cool.
yeah, these are really cool, and he has a tiny little turtle that pilots him in the back.
What? For
Yeah,
real?
yep.
I didn't know that. That is freaking cool,
But
man.
yeah,
I noticed
these are great. But my
you got a ramen
favorite
racer
thing,
back there.
huh?
I said I noticed you got a ramen racer back there. I love
Oh
my
yeah,
ramen racer. I
yeah,
love that car.
yeah. I've got a Ghost Rider in it too. Custom.
Nice.
Let me see.
I love that car.
I
It
did a
is
custom
so
Ghost Rider for it.
nice.
Robbie Reyes one. But my favorite purchase that, hang on.
Yep.
It's another mech, of course. And it's one that I bought at Legion's Con. This is my favorite so far that I bought this year. And the year's coming to a close.
Oh,
This giant crab mech. And he's
that
just,
was that
he's
Brian
so,
C?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so gross, but it's so beautiful.
It is a work of art. That is
Yes.
amazing. Does he know that that's your favorite thing?
I don't think so. I don't know. That's the first time I've said it's my favorite thing. I love this.
Yeah,
Showed it off to all my kids when
it's
they came
gorgeous.
over, and they think it's awesome. My girlfriend thinks it's grotesque, but that's kind of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a spider person at all, and that makes me think of spiders, but it's also super damn cool. Like someone made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian C is an amazing artist.
He's done some of those little crab guys too, and I think I want to get one of those or two of those too.
Can you hold that up? I'm gonna take a picture and send that to him.
Hang on.
He's gonna be stoked about that. Jeez. That's awesome. Thank you.
My favorite purchase so far, 2024.
I will send that to him. That's so cool.
And hopefully he'll have other cool mechs for me to buy at next Legion's.
Well, I'm sure he's gonna push to make sure that he's got some amazing stuff. What an honor. That is awesome. Thank you for showing that. Man, that is freaking cool, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is cool. But like, if you think about it, like this stuff is kind of inspired by you guys' studio. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's out there. I know it's a stretch, but like he creates stuff for you guys' figures. So like that crab head was originally going on like a slog or like another, cosmic figure or something. So this, he kind of like took it and ran with it. But I mean, I think that, the creativity on the studio also fuels the creativity of, the people that are out there that are fans, the creative people, not me, but the creative people. Thank you, man. All you gotta
do is try and practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you so damn much.
Thank you very much.
I look forward to our talks, and I hope to see you. I don't know if you can reveal, but do you plan on going on tour as well to some of these cons, or you're not sure yet?
Some of them, yeah. Okay. I'll be at ZoloCon. They've announced. Jeremy put out the announcement of the conventions the other
There's
day,
quite
right?
a few. There's quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be going to a few of those.
Okay.
Potentially San Diego Comic-Con, but we'll see how I feel. I don't know if I
Ooh.
can get it on a plane yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know I'll be at MuskyCon and maybe IshCon and what was the I was hoping PowerCon, but I guess there's not going to be one this year. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
That was a fun one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved PowerCon.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Maybe,
man, that is so damn cool.
Maybe Val will have something to announce. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep, we'll see. All right, my friend.
Thank you very much, sir.
You have a good night, and watch out for those drones, man.
I'm gonna go get picked up by the aliens.
Right? well, I live in Michigan, so if you get picked up, come get me, man. I'll take a ride on one of those hot rod, UFOs. I'll check it out.
I saw two of them pass over our house the other night, and one of them was a really big one.
Wow.
And there was a fairly large one that was somewhat high up that passed over just a few hours ago. So I've heard that saw in the neighbors app that a bunch of them are congregating a couple of towns over. So I'm going to go take a look.
I'll have to look that up.
It's nuts.
I hadn't heard about that.
Freaking nuts. And nobody's saying anything. It's weird.
That is weird. Yeah, that is weird.
All right. Take care, Greg.
Take care. Thank you very much.
We'll see you later, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much.